which is going to make everybody come here and sit right on this ledge. You may want to scoot down this way a little bit, okay? And I need you to look up at the chairs. Just find a spot, sit right there on the curb. And what do you see up on all these chairs? Bibles, okay. The Bibles. And what else do you see in the Bible? You see papers? Okay, how many papers? Two papers? Okay. And there's a white paper, and then there's a red paper, right? Okay. And Abby and I talked this week, and it's just like Greg said, we've studied the Old Testament, right? You guys have been studying the Old Testament for a long time. And it's been pointing to Jesus. And I wanted to show you something that Grace and Alan and I sat last night, and we put these red papers in. And you know where the red papers are at in the Bible? And Grace knows because she helped me. Tell them, Grace, where they at?
The New Testament.
The New Testament. It doesn't matter which Bible I pick up. Okay, if I pick up the Bible right now, and I open it, we're at the New Testament. Okay? And then if I go to this Bible, and I pick up this Bible, we're at the New Testament. Okay? So in the first part of it is the Old Testament that you guys learned so much. I don't even think you know how much you learned. Okay? Because I'm going to ask you today, I'm going to need your help. Okay? Because when you look at these Bibles, okay, and I have the one over here with the lesson, and we come down here. The first Bible that I'm looking at, ready? The first Bible and the white pages before the New Testament. Does everybody agree? Is the white first?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's right at the beginning. And we know what's at the beginning of the Bible. Genesis. And we are talking about all the people in God's family. This card has this crazy word on it today. It's genealogy. Can you say that?
Genealogy.
Genealogy of Christ.
We don't know what that means.
Well, yeah, what does that mean? Genealogy. I know. I saw that there. I'm like, holy cow, who's going to help Mr. Ellis with that? You know what that means? That's your family. Sometimes you hear it called your family tree. Some of you are old enough that you guys do that, your family tree, right? So like if I were to draw my genealogy, then I have a mom, her name's Jan, and a dad, his name's Gene. And then there would be Mr. Ellis, or Daryl, right? And then there would be my wife, Jessie, and she has a mom and a dad named Brian and Joan. And then who do we have? We have Mitchell, Grace, and Alan and Grace. And then if they someday have kids, their kids would go underneath that, right? That's the people in our family. And it goes way back. Well, Jesus and God, they knew who they wanted in their family, right? So the first part you guys learned about was Adam and Eve, and they had 3 kids. Does anybody know their kids? Okay. You know? Cain and Abel and Seth. Very good. Cain, Abel, and Seth. Okay. So what do we know? If we're going to draw something so that we remember, what do we know about Adam and Eve? They lived in the garden. First of all, God had to create Adam, right? So he was the first man, right? First man. And then God made Eve, right? Because Adam shouldn't be alone, right? I know, isn't that good? That's a good Eve, right? A little long neck, but that's okay. And they lived in, I heard it, somebody say, where did they live? They lived in the garden, and then something happened. What happened?
The snake lied to them and they ate the apple from
They did. The snake lied and they sinned, right? And that's what Greg said when we talked about communion, and that separated them and all of us from God. From God. Okay. So those are the first people, and God wanted them in their family. He wanted Seth in the family. The next one that God promised in Genesis 9 to be part of his family, these are his relatives, is somebody that I think you know this one. Noah. Look, and that was in the Old Testament. Right? Noah. What did Noah do?
He built an ark.
He built an ark just because God told him to. Saved his animals, saved his family, and his family goes on to be part of Jesus' family. Right? So that was pretty easy. We could just draw the boat, right? Right? Okay. Now, next one is a little harder. This one is somebody that God promised he would be part of his family. Close. Abraham.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you knew that one. Abraham. And look how long before the New Testament did he promise that? Long time. He knew, didn't he? He knew, yeah. Well, what did Abraham do? What did Abraham do? We have any helpers? What did Abraham do?
Help God?
Yeah, how did he help God? That's a good. He did obey him. Yeah. By sacrificing his son. Did he actually sacrifice his son? He didn't have to, but he was going to, right? So that's not a very good one, but we have the same picture on our things where he's holding the knife. Right, like that, right? He was going to sacrifice his son, but he didn't have to because God provided what? God provided a ram. High five. You were in Sunday school this year. Oh, I love it. And so Abraham is going to be part of God's family. Here's the next one. Isaac. Who's Isaac?
I'm Isaac.
Yeah. Isaac was the one that was not sacrificed. Thank you. We need help. He was not sacrificed, right? And he goes on to have a son. I don't know what to draw for Isaac. What can we think about Isaac? I don't know. I didn't have an idea. I was waiting for you guys. What do we think about when we think about Isaac? Don't know. I think about the altar a lot, but you could think about something else. But Isaac had to go there and lay on the altar, even when his dad told him to, and he didn't know why, right? Yeah. And then we have Jacob. Jacob, look, way from the New Testament. You're Jacob. What do we know about Jacob? Somebody, what do you think about when you think about Jacob?
He had 12 sons.
12 sons?
And he wrestled God. And only one.
He wrestled. Yeah. Good. Here's another one. This one was just recently.
He was a bad king.
This was the, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. This is the next one. Look, somebody that they promised. God said, he said they're going to be part of it. This is Rahab. Rahab, we just did this one in the adult class. Rahab is the one that hid the spies. Yeah, who said it? Good job. Hid the spies, right? Yeah, so when where did she hide them?
In her house.
In her house, but where was the house?
On the roof.
On the roof of what the city? Jericho.
We talked about this.
You talked about that?
Yeah,
and who was she? Who did she hide? The spies were what? They were
Israelites.
Israelites. Yeah. So there we could draw like the big wall, right? And her house is up there, and she hid him. She hid him and she saved him. And remember, did she get destroyed because she obeyed God? No, they saved her. And so she had a son named Boaz. It tells us right here in the Bible. And Boaz is also part of God's family. He's a relative. Isn't that cool? And then we have Jesse, the lion Jesse, and David.
My mom's name is
Your mom's name is Jesse. It's a different Jesse. You guys remember that one? We barely did that one in Sunday school. Talk about that. And the last one is David. Who knows who David is?
Ooh.
Who's David? I need.
Elijah's king.
Yeah, good. I'm listening. Those are all good answers. We're smart.
And he defeated Goliath.
And he defeated Goliath. That's the one I wanted to draw. Yeah, that's right. Were you going to say that? Yeah. And he was a great king, but he was just an earthly king. So here's Goliath, and there's David. A slingshot? Okay, there you go. He's got the slingshot like that.
And Solomon.
Oh, right there. Right? That does look like a knife. So he defeated. So that is look at how much you learned in the what? In the Old Testament. High five. In the Old Testament. But today is different. Oh, you learned more than 7. Today is different because I want you to look at this. I need you to look at something right here. I need your eyes. Okay. Today we're talking about, and when I picked up this card, I thought it was kind of cool because what number do you see on that card?
2.
What do you see?
2.
How about you, Wookie? Piper? What's that look like?
It looks like
Do you see it? Yeah, how about you? I think it looks like a 2. Yeah. It looks like a 2. And the reason I thought that was cool is because you know what the card says on the back? When you go home, I want you to read this. It says, Jesus is fully God and fully man.
Yeah,
That's what you heard? So Jesus was really 2 things, right? And sometimes that's confusing. But I'm going to use myself as an example. Grace, what am I? I'm her dad, her father. Easton, when we went to basketball practice, what was I? I was your coach. Who's been to school and seen me? When am I at school?
Teacher.
I'm a teacher. Yeah. So we can be more than one thing, right?
Yeah, we can be
Yeah, we can be more than one thing.
we can be a power.
But being a man and being God, I can't be that. I can't be that. But Jesus was. And he was really a man. And the reason we know that's because he came down here. And when he was down here, you know what it tells me in that last Bible that I read? It tells me that when he was here, he felt things. That when he cried, when he was hungry, he felt hungry. Right? Yeah, when people hurt him and they pierced his hands, it hurt. So if you're a person, those things hurt, right? If you're alive and you're a person, those hurt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he was sweating, when he prayed, well, you have to be a person to do that, right? So when he was here, he was a man, so he knew what it would feel like to be us. The difference is he didn't sin. He didn't make any of those bad choices, right? Yeah. And we know he's God because after he was put to death, what happened? 3 days later, he rose from the dead. We can't do that. I can't do that. Has any other man done that? Woman? Only God. So he's both. So when you see this card today, okay, I want you to remember 2 things. First of all, you see all those faces? Everybody look. I hope you're going to get one out there. That's a bunch of faces. Well, all those people were very special to God, just like we are, and they're part of his family. Okay? They were part of his family in the Old Testament. But now Jesus, who was a man and is God, we can be part of his family too.
Is Jesus on your stuff?
No, I don't think so.
Or is he right there?
No, I don't think so. But you know what? He doesn't need to be on here because all he needs to be is in our hearts, right? And now we can be part of this family. Because Jesus came, and since he died on the cross, he forgave us of our sins if we just accept him. So when you see this, you think about Jesus. He's 2 people. He was man and God, and he loves us, and he has a big family, right? Yeah, and he wants us to be part of it. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it means a lot, doesn't it? All right, you guys did a great job. Thank you for your help today. Those things, I'm really proud of how much you learned. Good job. You go back to your teachers, okay?